Every great journey begins with a single step. But the truth is, life isn't about giant leaps. It's about the simple choices we make every day. The breakfast we eat, the words we speak, the moments we choose to pause or act. These are the building blocks of destiny. Today I want to show you that mastering your life doesn't require miracles. It requires mindful, intentional decisions guided by God's wisdom. Because when you align even the smallest choices with purpose, you unlock a life of clarity, power, and unstoppable momentum. Think about it. What if I told you that your life isn't determined by luck, talent, or circumstance, but by the tiny, almost invisible choices you make every single day? Today we are going to learn the art of mastering life through simplicity, focus, and God-centered wisdom. Every morning, without even realizing it, you are standing at the edge of countless crossroads. Some are obvious. Do I wake up now or hit snooze? Do I start my work with focus or procrastinate? Others are subtle. Do I speak with patience when frustration rises? Or do I let harsh words escape? Each of these moments may seem small, even insignificant, but these are the moments where life is truly shaped. God has designed life in a way that the future is built brick by the choices you make today. And this is the first truth I want to share with you. Your destiny is not determined by fate, luck, or circumstance. It is determined by the seemingly tiny daily decisions you make, consciously or unconsciously. Think about a morning like this. You wake up feeling tired. The weight of yesterday is still clinging to your shoulders. You have two choices. Stay in bed and let the day pass, or rise, take a deep breath, and face the day with intention. One choice leads to stagnation. The other begins a ripple that can carry through every aspect of your life. Choosing to rise, to act despite discomfort, is not heroic in the way the world defines heroism. But it is powerful. It is the kind of power that shapes your character, molds your resilience, and quietly builds a life of purpose. Every small decision to do what is right, what is productive, what aligns with God's wisdom, adds up. Over weeks, months, and years, these choices compound into a life that feels unstoppable. A life that is not left to chance, but mastered through intention. Consider how you speak to others each day. Words are fleeting, but their impact lasts. When someone cuts you off in traffic, do you respond with anger, letting that moment cloud your day? Or do you choose calm? Perhaps even offering a small prayer for patience. A single decision to respond with grace instead of frustration not only changes your mood, but can affect the interactions you have for hours afterward. Your words, guided by thoughtful choices, have a ripple effect that touches people in ways you may never see, but God sees. These daily choices, often unnoticed, are the quiet victories that define the quality of your life. Let's look at health, which so many people neglect until it becomes urgent. You can choose to eat that extra piece of cake, or you can choose a wholesome meal that fuels your body. One choice seems trivial in isolation, but repeated over time, the effects are enormous. Choosing exercise when your body protests, choosing water instead of sugary drinks, choosing rest when fatigue beckons, all of these are daily decisions that honor the life God has given you. You are not making these choices for perfection, but for mastery over yourself. And mastery is built in repetition, not in grand gestures. It's in saying yes to what builds you and no to what diminishes you every single day. Financial habits are another arena where daily decisions wield immense power. You might be tempted to spend impulsively, to chase momentary pleasure, but a single decision to save, to invest in growth, or to give back can have lifelong consequences. Every dollar you decide to spend or save is a vote for the life you want to live. God's wisdom is clear. Discipline in small things leads to freedom in greater things. By mastering the small everyday choices, You gain control over the bigger outcomes that once seemed beyond your reach. You build a life that is intentional, not reactive, a life that thrives because you chose to take responsibility for every moment. Even the way you respond to challenges is a daily choice. Life is unpredictable. Setbacks are inevitable. But God has given you the ability to choose your attitude, to choose resilience over despair, hope over bitterness. A decision to face adversity with faith, courage and persistence transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Each day presents opportunities to choose strength, patience and wisdom over complaining or giving up. These daily choices, simple yet profound, are the invisible architects of your character and your destiny. Finally, consider the quiet moments when no one is watching, when no one notices your effort, your discipline, your kindness. God notices. The choices you make in these moments define who you truly are. Choosing integrity when dishonesty would be easier. Choosing humility when pride tempts you. Choosing generosity when selfishness calls. All of these daily decisions accumulate. They build a foundation for a life that is not only successful in the eyes of the world, but aligned with the higher purpose God has designed for you. So today I challenge you to see every choice as sacred. The small actions, the fleeting moments, the tiny decisions, they are more powerful than you think. Each is a step toward mastery. Each is an opportunity to align your life with purpose. Each is a chance to honor the life you've been given. Don't underestimate the power of daily decisions. Master them, and you will master your life.
Choose wisely, act intentionally, and let God's wisdom guide even your smallest steps.
Because it is through these simple choices that extraordinary lives are built. Life has a way of complicating itself, often without us even noticing. We fill our days with endless tasks, our minds with countless worries, and our hearts with unnecessary burdens. We think that success, peace, or happiness comes from adding more work, more possessions, more experiences. But God's wisdom teaches us a profound truth. Clarity, power, and purpose are born from simplicity. When we strip away the unnecessary, when we choose the simple path guided by clear intention, life becomes not only manageable but extraordinary. Simplicity is not about doing less. It's about doing what matters most with focus, discipline, and understanding. Consider the morning routines of people who achieve great things. They don't overwhelm themselves with complex schedules or endless to-do lists. They wake up, make deliberate choices, and focus on the few actions that will set the tone for their day. Something as simple as starting a day with gratitude, choosing a healthy breakfast, or taking a moment to breathe and center yourself can completely shift your mindset. The simplicity of focusing on what truly matters clears mental clutter, sharpens your vision, and allows you to move with intention. Every task, every choice becomes purposeful rather than reactive. God's wisdom is reflected in these simple daily habits. They create space for focus, energy, and alignment with your higher goals. Think about relationships. How often do we complicate them with unnecessary arguments, overthinking, or unrealistic expectations? Choosing simplicity in how we interact with others, speaking honestly, listening intently, showing kindness without expectation, transforms not only our connections but our inner peace. God has placed clarity within simplicity. When you remove ego, assumptions, and unnecessary complexity, communication becomes easier, relationships become stronger, and life feels lighter. Simple acts of care, like a genuine compliment, a helping hand, or a sincere apology, have a profound impact. These small, uncluttered gestures carry more power than grand, complicated attempts to impress. Financial decisions offer another clear example. In a world of constant advertisements and social pressures, it's easy to think that happiness comes from having more. Yet God's guidance shows that clarity comes from simplicity. Spending wisely, saving diligently, and focusing on needs over wants. Every time you make a simple, intentional financial choice, you gain control over your life rather than letting life control you. Complexity leads to confusion, stress, and indecision.
Simplicity brings freedom, giving you the ability to make meaningful choices that align with your values, create stability, and prepare for the future. Even our thoughts can be cluttered.
We often overanalyze, worry, or chase every fleeting desire. God's wisdom teaches us that peace arises when we choose simplicity of mind. Meditation, reflection, and focusing on one thing at a time can transform mental chaos into clarity. Think of a river. When water flows smoothly, it nourishes and refreshes. When it's blocked with debris, it becomes stagnant and unproductive.
Your mind works the same way.
By clearing unnecessary mental clutter and focusing on what truly matters, you allow creativity, insight, and purpose to flow freely. Simplicity also empowers decision-making. When your life is tangled with too many choices, indecision paralyzes you. But when you commit to simplicity, prioritizing what aligns with your values and letting go of distractions, you move forward with confidence. Even God's wisdom reflects this principle. The clearest path is often the simplest one, yet it requires courage to remove what is unnecessary. Every choice made with clarity and focus strengthens your life, creating momentum and making future decisions easier. Consider time, the most precious resource we have. We often overfill our schedules, leaving little room for reflection, growth, or meaningful action. God's wisdom shows that simplicity in how we use time creates space for what truly matters. Saying no to distractions, unnecessary commitments, or overthinking allows us to invest our energy in work that brings results, relationships that bring joy, and habits that bring growth. Simplicity doesn't mean less life. It means a more intentional, powerful, and fulfilling life. Even challenges, when approached with simplicity, become opportunities. Instead of overcomplicating problems with worry or doubt, we can break them down into simple steps, focus on solutions, and act with clarity. Life doesn't need to be overwhelming. God has given us the ability to see the path clearly if we remove the noise. Each simple step toward a goal, each deliberate action guided by purpose compounds into remarkable achievement. Ultimately, simplicity is a gift. It allows you to hear God's wisdom more clearly, to see life's opportunities more clearly, and to act with courage and intention. It transforms a chaotic, stressful existence into one of focus, peace, and direction. By embracing simplicity, you are not doing less. You are choosing what truly matters. You are freeing yourself from distraction, aligning with purpose, and walking a path that leads to mastery and fulfillment. So today I invite you to look at your life and ask, what can I simplify? Which distractions, worries, or complexities can I release? What small, clear choices can I make right now that will create a ripple effect of clarity, peace, and purpose? Remember, God's wisdom is always present in simplicity. Master the art of simplifying your life, and you will unlock clarity that leads to extraordinary growth, strength, and fulfillment. In simplicity, you will find the power to live intentionally, to act decisively, and to thrive fully. Too often, we get trapped in the illusion that life requires perfection. We wait for the perfect moment to start, the perfect plan to unfold, or the perfect conditions to take action. Yet God's wisdom shows us that perfection is not the path to success, mastery, or fulfillment. Instead, it is consistency, small, steady, intentional actions repeated day after day that builds extraordinary lives.
Think about it. A drop of water, consistent and unrelenting, can carve through stone over time.
In the same way, consistent effort, even when imperfect, shapes your destiny in ways that instant brilliance or sporadic bursts of effort never can. Consider your daily habits. You might not exercise perfectly, eat perfectly, or meditate perfectly. Some days you falter, some days life interrupts, and some days your energy runs low. Yet the choice to return, to continue, to do what you can consistently is far more powerful than waiting for perfection. God's wisdom teaches us that life rewards those who show up, who persist, who act with intention even when the conditions are less than ideal. The person who walks 10 minutes every day will eventually run a marathon. The person who writes one paragraph daily will eventually finish a book. The person who practices patience and kindness daily will eventually build unshakable character. Think about the way children learn to walk. No one waits for the perfect balance or perfect timing. They fall, stumble, and get up repeatedly. This strength comes from consistent effort, not from flawless execution. And yet, as adults, we often hold ourselves to impossible standards, afraid to move forward until everything is just right. God's wisdom reminds us that the journey itself, fueled by consistency, shapes our strength, confidence, and mastery. It is the daily, imperfect steps that eventually lead to monumental achievements. Even in professional life, consistency outweighs perfection. A person who writes one page every day, who reaches out to clients regularly, or who studies a skill daily, builds competence and reputation over time. Meanwhile, the person waiting for perfect inspiration or perfect conditions often waits forever. Life doesn't reward perfection, it rewards perseverance. Every small, steady effort accumulates. Every repeated action compounds into skills, habits, and results that seem miraculous to those who only observe from the outside. This is the secret that God's wisdom whispers to us. Greatness is built quietly, consistently, not flamboyantly. Consistency also transforms mindset. When you commit to regular effort, you begin to trust yourself, your abilities, and your journey. You stop being paralyzed by fear of mistakes or judgment because you understand that